bought anything because I was scared my mom would find out.
Yeah.
But we didn't have the, internet like it is now. But yeah, and they'll go where they're accepted the most.
Hmm.
And that's what's scary, So that's when the parent really needs to come in.
Welcome to the Metamorphosis Project podcast. I'm your host, Tenya Eichenberg, and this is a space where transformation begins. Here, we dive deep into energy healing, self-care, and the power of mindset to help you break free from old patterns and design a life that feels aligned, vibrant, and authentically you. True metamorphosis isn't just about change. It's about becoming who you were always meant to be. Now, let's get into this week's conversation. Welcome back to the Metamorphosis Project podcast. It's always exciting here on the podcast. And today I have with me Michelle Henderson. And Michelle is an intuitive coach. Introduce yourself for me, please.
Oh, okay, no worries.
I'm obviously having some brain farts in this moment.
Oh, no worries. No worries. Well, you know what? It's good to have because I'm in between. It's almost like the spiritual world. I've changed so many times since I started into the spiritual realm, the business.
Yeah.
And but to begin it all, I was actually an educator for 30 years. And so I was one that would, work with these kids. I was like an advocate for these kids, be in the school system. And I always used my intuition to be able to work with these kids and just know what they needed, what their family needed. And I'm going, thank you, spiritual world, for helping me. As we all say, I followed my gut feeling, even in my family life, married, raised kids and everything else. But like everybody, when you look at retirement in the face, you're going, okay, there's more out there. My kids are raised, they have their own lives. Now, what do I do? And I was really being called into the spiritual world. And so I started out as a psychic medium. And of course, all of this started when I was younger, and we'll talk about that later. But I worked as a psychic medium, and then I'm thinking, you know what? I love being a psychic medium, but I know there's more to it. There's more that I want to help because I felt like the people that were coming to me were knowing their answers, but just needing validation. And I'm
Right.
going, okay, I can help others, but in a different way.
Yeah.
And so then I went through different programs, and so then I found a tool of the trade that really helped me open up my heart chakra because it really helped me get rid of all my belief systems, and it was plant medicine. And that showed me the way of where I needed
Was
to
it
go next.
ayahuasca?
Yes, yes, yeah,
I,
and also
I, I,
Pedro as
yeah,
well.
I haven't done the San Pedro, but I did ayahuasca and I've done the Bufo.
Oh, okay,
And I
okay.
did both in one day.
Oh, yes. Oh, well,
Was
you
just
can. Yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
can, but it's like
Yeah,
I
powerful.
flew I flew from Florida to Maryland right after I did the Bufo, which I would not recommend
Oh.
that kind of day. Like you need to do it where you can like rest and recuperate. Yeah. So I didn't do it in the best way. I think it took me longer to integrate because I didn't give myself that time to rest right after. But it was mind blowing. 10 years ago, if you had asked me if I would do ayahuasca, I'd be like, no.
And I think it's something that you have to be pulled towards.
You
Don't you
do.
agree? You
Abs
know,
abs and I think that all the heal and I don't know if this was true for you, some of the healing that you had done before that, if it made your journey better than other people had said, watch out, this can be rough.
absolutely. Because my spiritual teacher, she said, you know what? You'll be fine. The person that's the medicine woman, we call her, she was trained by a shaman. She said, you'll be okay. You're not going to get sick. It's not anything that we're going to give you too much of a dosage. That was their last famous words. So I was purging, which
Yeah.
was a beautiful thing because, like you said, it was healing that I did not know I needed to heal
Right.
in
Right.
6 hours, and I was down for 12.
Yeah.
and did not move. And they were worried about me. And I'm going, I'm fine. I'm just healing. Let it go. Because
Right.
I
Right.
could feel it and I could see the black matter, the black
Yeah.
smoke, I call it, come out. And it was just all the fear and all the anger that I had in my system and my cells. So when your first journey, did you purge or were you
Oh, I
okay?
purged.
Oh,
Oh,
did
I
you?
I purged. Yeah. I think
Yes.
there was some resistance to it because I had to take a second dose.
Okay.
And after
Yes.
that second dose, yeah, I purged throwing up because there's different ways to purge, right? People
Right.
cry,
Right.
they might have to go to the bathroom, they throw up, they laugh. There's lots of different ways. I
That's true.
threw up, I laughed, I think I cried. This was several years ago. Um, but what I did you do it just with did you do it with a group of people or did you do it with just a couple people?
Oh no, it was a group.
It was a group.
So yeah, so I started in 2023 with my first journey. And then I kept going back. I just felt like I needed to do more and more healing.
Hmm.
So I went back three more times with a group, at different groups. And
Right,
then this last year in 2025, I went four different times to a group of women that we wanted to meet each time to support one another
right.
and to move. And it was incredible because we experienced a lot of the same things. And yeah, so it was mainly a group of people.
Good. That
Yes.
that's I think that's the best way to do it. And
Hmm.
what I absolutely loved was no one had ever cheered for me while I was
Oh,
throwing up before.
oh, yeah,
Before this.
yeah.
So when I was purging, I could hear people like cheering, like,
Yeah.
yay! Yeah. And I'd never had, it's not like your mom holds your hair back when you have the flu and cheers you on for vomiting.
I love
But
that.
but I
Yes.
absolutely I just it was just that sense of community
Yes. And I
that
totally
came together.
agree. Yeah, because people go, "Oh, it just seems so uncomfortable." And it is, but
Well,
it's
healing's
healing.
uncomfortable.
Yes, absolutely. And the plant medicine is like, I mean, becomes one with you.
Yeah.
And it's very nurturing and it's almost like tough love. You're
Yep.
going to get healed no matter what. And you have to face whatever you need to face. And what was beautiful is the more that I got healed, the more knowledge that I received.
Hmm.
And it's like it kind of gives you the motivation to continue on your
Right.
healing journey. And
Right.
I can see right now this year is going to be more of an integration. And I love
Hmm.
that you said that we need to integrate because a lot of people go, "Oh, that's it." No, you've got to still
Yeah.
work on it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I've
yeah.
I've heard stories of people who one person that was in our group, it was like his 30th ceremony. And I'm
Yes.
like,
Yes.
are you, this kid was young. I mean, he was late 20s. So like he had done a lot in a short amount of time. I'm like, are, are you processing anything that's showing up?
Right.
Because if you're not processing and dealing with anything that's showing up on a conscious level, I don't think it doesn't get fully healed because you still
Yeah.
have to take that action in doing the conscious work.
And that's what I'm feeling. Yeah, because they were going to continue a different group of women again this year. And I said, no, I've got to, because I've done nine journeys
Yeah.
or weekends, of
Yeah.
several
Yeah.
journeys. And I said, yeah, I need to definitely integrate it. And people don't realize that you still need the support even
Yeah.
afterwards.
Absolutely.
So because you feel lost sometimes because you are
Hmm.
changing, you're no longer the same person anymore.
Right.
And unless you've gone through a journey, a plant journey, you don't realize it. You don't understand it.
Right.
And so it's really good to be with other people, like you said, a group that you can say, "Hey, I need some help. I don't understand what's going on," because it's like the ego, I don't want to say is dying, but is kind of changing. And sometimes you get in that void and you don't exactly know what you're doing. And sometimes you feel like you're depressed when you're still healing.
Right. Yeah.
Did you
Yeah.
go through that as well? Did
I
you go
did.
through the steps? Okay.
I did actually the past probably 2 years have been part of my integration. Oh,
Um,
okay. Yeah, I mean, some other point I can tell you all about my healing journey, but part of it had to do with suffering from anxiety and depression most of my life. And I had healed it, I had gotten away from it. But the last couple years, I would have not just sadness, but bouts of depression that would surface. And I'd have to go back and go, why is this coming back up? And it wasn't like it was coming back up. It wasn't old stuff that I got rid of and it came back. It was just stuff that was being released because I had done the plant medicine and it opened up those doors, or it unlocked those doors, but it didn't open them. And I had to do
right.
other
Right.
healing in order to open those doors and process all of that stuff. So
Absolutely beautiful. Oh
yeah,
my
so whenever
gosh.
you
Yes.
think that you're done healing, and it sounds so overwhelming, right? We're like, "Oh, I feel great. I'm done. This is awesome." And then you hit something and you're like, "What WTF? Like what's
Right.
going on? Why is this coming back?" And it's not that it's coming back, it's just that there's layers.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
yeah,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
when we say that you're never going to be done healing, your soul is always learning.
Yes.
And so it's not necessarily that you're never going to be done healing. It's just that your soul is never going to stop learning.
Oh, I totally agree. And I think there's a reason for that too, because if you take, one journey and you think you're going to be totally healed, that's going to hurt your neurological system. It's going
Yeah.
to put you on overload. And so I think that medicine knows exactly what you need at the time. Your
Yep.
soul knows what you need at the time.
Yep.
And I remember that first journey when my heart chakra just opened up and I was out of my body.
Right.
And I'm going, oh my gosh, is this what this is all about? And it showed me what is possible and what is magical outside the box because I grew up in a very Christian community that
Hmm.
didn't, like you said, want me to open or unlock those doors.
Right. Well, you said you're in that belt Bible belt. I mean, you're
Yes.
in you're in you know you're in Texas
Texas,
and
yes.
yeah, and I sold Mary Kay for a little while,
Oh,
and so I get that culture,
mhm.
that Christian value culture, and it can be how it can put you into a box.
Right. But there was a reason for it. And I tell everybody I am so grateful for growing up in the community because and I had a good experience. I know some people don't in the church, and that's understandable, but where I am now and where a lot of people are leaving the church,
Hmm.
I'm able to identify with them and hopefully they can identify with my energy so that
Right.
I can help them, see what else is out there
Yeah,
outside
see
the
both
box.
perspectives.
Yes.
You're able
Yes.
to see, and that what I think that makes an incredible healer and coach is somebody who can step back and see all the different perspectives.
Mhm.
And when you can see all the different perspective, you take your own judgment out of it.
Right. I love that. I love that. Yes. And I think I was shown this, during one of my journeys, I was shown because as an educator, I wanted to help save people. And I was an empath and I was taking in a lot of their stuff. And so the
Hmm.
plant medicine had extra stuff to get rid of that was not even mine or
Right.
what I had to heal. And I
Yeah.
was told, you are no longer doing that. You are no longer doing that. You are going to with your energy, help people find their soul, help them remember, but you're no longer taking on what they have,
Yeah.
which is a beautiful thing because, they need to heal themselves. They need to take it on. They need to
Yep.
know how to, and without me interfering with it and
Right.
taking it away.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's so nice of us to want to do that for people, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. But it does wear on your body.
It
And
does.
yes, before retirement, I was getting sick a lot. I was
Mhm.
tired and just, I couldn't give much more of myself.
Yeah.
And so, yes, I did have the burnout as well. And I changed three different areas in education. and could not be happy. And I thought, okay, there's something wrong here. I've got to do something else. That was spirit saying, wake
Right.
up.
Right. Yeah. 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 Being all those years in education, you probably were taking on the students' feelings, the parents' feelings, other educators.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, absolutely. So through plant medicine, your heart chakra opened up.
Yes.
And where did
Oh,
your healing go from there?
oh my goodness. So I knew exactly where to go, and that first healing helped me let go of a lot of the barriers, a lot of the fears. It was like the weight was lifted. And then after that, it was more of a little bit of healing as well, because
Hmm.
I was still kind of fearful, and that plant medicine always finds it, like what you were talking about.
Right.
But it was also showing me ancient knowledge that I needed to learn. And I was going, oh my gosh. I mean, I was shown how a soul, excuse me, how a soul is made. I was shown that, yes, there are star beings out there. And I'm going, oh my gosh. And
Somebody doesn't want this information
oh
out
my
there.
gosh. Something. It's like, whoa. So I won't tell you what I saw.
Right.
Maybe that's what it is
Maybe
because
that's what it is. They're afraid
everybody,
you're gonna spill
everybody,
the
yeah,
beans.
everybody has to see what they need to see for themselves because
Yeah.
everybody's on a different journey.
Right.
But I will tell you, and this really was a big influence on me, and I've always had a good relationship with Jesus. But I got to see him as a master teacher. I
Hmm.
got to see him, and he brought in somebody called Sarah. And there was a reason for why she was called Sarah. And I'm going, which is good because, again, fear would have come across. But he told me, he said, I want you to get with Sarah, channel Sarah, and write her story. And I said, well, okay, I will. And so through her story, I started finding out who she truly was and things that I didn't know about. And I'm going, wait a minute, I don't want to stir the pot. I don't want to make people angry by getting this story out. So I had to take a break.
Hmm.
And I said, take a break, do what you need to do. And so then it came, and I thought, you know what? This is not my story. This is her story. This is
Yeah.
what, I was trusted in. And I found out that she was Mary Magdalene. And so I'm going, okay, I feel, I'm doing good. I just see where I'm going. And during one of my journeys, her essence was embodied in my soul so that I can help get the messages that she needs on earth. And there are other
Mhm.
people that are also channeling Mary Magdalene at this time. It's
Right.
just we are needing this energy to help heal and not to be as angry and know, yes, there is a spiritual world out there with us.
Right.
And so that's kind of where my journeys were leading is more and more of trusting the process and letting go of my identity of who I am and knowing that, we are one, looking at the conscious,
Hmm.
one conscious. And one of my journeys as well, and then I'll be quiet, is that our spiritual teacher during one of the journeys and this group of women got us in the quantum realm. And so we were able to stop time during one of our journeys. And we were able to experience the exact same thing, walk around and
Yeah.
talk and go outside. And it was incredible. And I'm going, oh my gosh, sir. And I asked my teacher, I said, how do you know where to stop the time? And she said, oh no, I don't do it. You do it as a group.
Hmm.
Your energy tells me where we need to stop. You get with the quantum world, your higher self.
Right.
And yeah, and so I got to see so many different beings and so forth while I was there. And I knew it was an illusion because everybody else saw the same thing I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic. So through this healing, was it through these healings that you decided to start helping people? You were a psychic medium before the plant medicine?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And was it
Yes.
after the plant medicine that you started helping people on a deeper level?
Right.
Okay.
Right. And because I got to understand who I truly was,
Yeah.
remembering who I truly was. And I was also shown, past lives and what I had done in the past and who I was from the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I've shown is, everybody has this. Everybody has cross consciousness. But
Right.
that's where I will be working with. And of course, I'll be calling in Mary Magdalene to help me as well, to do the energy work that I need and to help other people remember who they are and to open
Mm-hmm.
up their heart chakras. So it's almost like a process, like you said, peeling the onion because I'm
Mm-hmm.
going, why am I here?
Right.
Because when I was a psychic medium, I still felt like there was more.
Yeah.
And I think through this plant medicine, it actually showed me, yes, there's more. There's always more, but you need to let it go, and we're going to show you what is possible. And I was just at awe, with it. So I'm still in the transition. I'm in the void, still
Uh-huh.
working on this, and I think it's just to get the ego out of my way and say, yes, I can actually truly do this.
Okay. So we'll have to have you back once you've come out of that space
Yes,
and
yes,
are showing others what it is that they can do and how to do it. Um, until then, you
yes,
shared with me your book on spiritually nurturing children.
yes,
And
yes,
you shared two books with me, and I read The Spiritual Nurturing Child because I have I have three adult children that I look back and go, gosh, what could I have done differently to encourage their spiritual side? Because at that point I wasn't awakened to my own gifts and abilities. I was in survival mode for their entire childhood. And but we have this beautiful brand new grandbaby. And so when I saw that title, I was like, oh, this is how I can help to nurture her. This is what I can do to if her moms are open to allowing it to happen, then this is how I can nurture her. How did you come about the process or the idea that this book needed to be written?
And I love it because it was actually after my first journey that this was almost channeled. But in my educational business, my world, I was actually a behavior analyst. And so what I did is I thought, you know what? I did a lot of parent training while I was a behavior analyst. And this would be super for the spiritual workers to know how to help these parents.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went ahead and everything I learned as a psychic medium, I thought I can give tools of the trade for children so they can do the exact same type of exercises that I did, but I looked at their age and their grade level and developmental level to where they can work with the tools of the trade and bring out their intuitiveness is like what you said, if their parents are ready for it.
Yeah.
And a lot of whenever I work with families, it's mainly the parents. I don't really work with the child. I help with the parents because if you only work with the child, what's going to happen when you leave? The
Right.
parents are going to, change things if they don't like it. And they may not be ready for it and they're going to confuse the child or give them fear. And so that's
Right.
one reason why I decided to write this book. And to help, and even the parents love it because they go, I don't need anyone to tell me what I need to do. I can look at the book and educate myself. But
Right.
it's mainly for those parents that really do not have an understanding of crystals, of different yoga practices you can do. A lot of parents who are not understanding what this is all about.
Right.
I've worked with parents that, oh, they know which crystal to get, they know to do this. It's like, you don't need me. You just need
They just
validation.
they were in that place where they just needed that confirmation
Yes.
of what they already knew was what they needed to do. one of the chapters that I absolutely loved, because I this was something that I would teach my adult clients when early on in programs and stuff, was the color, the like putting emotions to a color. Because when you're going through anxiety and you're trying to bring that anxiety down, asking what color your anxiety is a really empowering thing, because then you can look at it and go, wait, blue doesn't sound like it should be so anxious.
Yes, yes.
So
That's very, yes.
I loved all of the little things that you brought, especially and when you were talking about, like, when an entity comes in that the child isn't quite sure about, and empowering them to say, leave me alone.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. Because entities or loved ones or the spiritual world, they love to visit kids because of
Mhm.
their, youngness, their antennas up, their energy is just going crazy. So they will bombard them, not meaning to, just saying,
Right.
hey, you can see me. I want to communicate with you. And sometimes, and it happens mainly at night when the child is not playing, is trying to,
Hmm.
go to bed and go to sleep. That's the time of, hey, I can say something to you and you'll listen to me only. But that's not the time for the child. So, yes, so we need to empower these children to say, I am in control. I do not want to play right now. I want to go to bed. And spirit, the spiritual world has to follow that.
Right.
If you're not ready, they will. And they, and and the child really needs to be empowered and say, okay, I'm going to, use spray to cleanse my room. And and you can get different sprays for that. And there's, if you go to a holistic fair, they can show you.
Yeah.
And what I always tell parents is to get a little bottle so that the
Hmm.
child can spray it, and that gives them empowerment and it makes the room smell so good. But
It
yes.
yeah, so what just popped in my mind is when the kids say, there's a monster under my bed, or there's a monster in my closet, there's a monster in my room, and it brought back this memory of, I had made my kids monster spray
Yes.
out of Febreze. When Febreze first started to come out, I printed out a label and put monster spray on it. And so before bed, they would spray under their bed, they would spray in their closet, and they would spray around the door. And it kept the monsters away. But now I'm wondering, was it keeping away these spirits that were trying to communicate with them, and they didn't know how to communicate, and I had no idea. Like,
Oh yeah.
I would have benefited from this book 20 years ago.
Well, absolutely, because the spirits are going not intent on hurting anybody.
Right. Right.
So when they see that fear and they know that they're causing more hectic than anything else, especially if it's a loved one who has crossed over, they will not interfere. They may still be there, but they won't show their presence,
Right.
or their spirit. But yes,
Right.
so they will definitely disappear. And you can, like what you were talking about, the colors and everything. Artwork is a spiritual thing for children. So they can draw what they're seeing. So if they're just feeling what the monster's there, we'll say, well, what else do you think this monster can be?
Hmm.
Let's draw what you think it could look like and
Right.
get them to draw it and say, well, I think what I'm doing as a parent is I want to protect you. And so I became afraid of it. So how can we together become friends with this monster? And then that way the child go, oh, you know what? Yeah, this could be my imaginary friend coming to say hi to me. It could be an
Hmm.
angel, popping in. And that's
Right.
what you're feeling. But yeah, so the number one thing I always tell the parents, listen to your child and not to be afraid, because once you're afraid, then they're
They
going
become
to become
afraid.
afraid.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I can absolutely see that. I
Hmm.
mean, there
Oh
were
yeah.
there were times when um my grandmother's house had spirits in it. And I can remember aunts and uncles talking about these spirits in the house, and there was a level of fear it wasn't so much the words that they were using, but it was the energy that they were giving off.
Yes.
And so you really have to, as a parent, check yourself in these types of situations, because you don't want to. We have so many other places where things where fear is being instilled. I mean, you can look at the world today, how
Oh,
much
yeah.
fear is driving the collective right now. There's a
Hmm.
lot of fear being pumped into the collective. And so we as parents need to be the ones to step back and go, okay, this house is a safe space. This is a safe place. Um, but how do you talk with parents who are just they can't come beyond that fear? Is there a way to get them beyond their own fear of the unseen?
And everybody has a process. So what if the parent is not ready to welcome a spirit in to their child's room or anything? I always tell the parent, you know what? Your child is not going to let go of their intuitiveness. They will hold on to it and they can do it in later.
Mm.
And if the parents are going, okay, I want them out of my house, I always say, okay, you can go ahead and tell the spirit that you want the spirit gone for now
Right,
until you're more comfortable with it. Because I could educate the parent as much as I could, but sometimes belief systems will get in the way, and I can't get in the way of that because
yeah,
everybody has a time to understand what
right,
is going on and what they're ready for. So, yeah, I've had a mom come in and say, my husband is not ready for this, but I want my child to bloom in this area. And I tell her, I said, you know what? Again, your child is going to be where they are spiritually. Your husband's in a different place. Don't force it,
right,
and just be that support. If your child comes to you, listen to your child because you'll be more open to it, but
right.
don't force the situation. And it
Yeah,
depends on your religion, whatever you're practicing. So I mean, I had to kind of turn mine down, because I told my mother and dad I was feeling things. I knew there were things in the room, and they become scared. And I
mm,
said, do not open that door. And so I stopped until I was in my 20s. And that's when I
hmm,
started opening up. And I found somebody else to teach me it's okay. You're not going crazy.
right.
But yeah, so a child will find. Now the trouble with that is once they get into middle school and they become curious and they're feeling all of these things, they're going to search, they're going to look for things.
Yeah,
And yeah,
that's when a parent should be scared, right? Is when
yes.
they're when and we they have access to so much on the internet now.
Yes. Yes. And I
Yeah.
did. And I did the same thing. I mean, I'd go into bookstores and I'd go to the metaphysical section because I wanted to learn more. But I never bought anything because I was scared my mom would find out.
Yeah.
But we didn't have the, internet like it is now. But yeah, and they'll go where they're accepted the most.
Hmm.
And that's what's scary. So that's when the parent really needs to come in and say, you need to find, something spiritual, uplifting that's love and light and not in the darker realms. Because sometimes when they're a teenager, they're going to go to the darker realms because that's sometimes where they're accepted the most.
Right, right. Well, because if they don't understand what they're feeling,
Right.
and they go into these different places where their peers are,
Hmm.
then other people are telling them, oh, this is what you're feeling. And it might be that dark energy that they're encouraging you to feel.
Right.
So yeah, so
Right.
it's very I think it's very important for parents to become more open when they're I mean, we would
Oh,
hope
yeah.
that all parents are like that, right? But we
Right.
know that they're
Yeah.
not, but we're just, if you're listening to this, be more open to everything that your kids bring to you.
You know what's interesting too is a lot of ministers' children will, go against the grain of the church
Hmm.
because of their parents always at church and, pushing the Bible and so forth.
Yeah.
So you see a lot of the children from these parents that are in ministry. go, you know what? I know there's more out there. I'm going to go, and that's rebellion,
Right.
but sometimes they don't go back, you know.
Well, I mean, as you know, I knew early on when my husband and I started having kids that our kids would leave one day, and it was our job to raise our kids so that they could form their own life,
Yeah.
right? It is not up to us to raise mini us's.
No. Agreed.
we
Agreed.
we
Yeah.
have to let them research and reach out and find what path they want to go down. Sometimes it is not a path that we would recommend. Sometimes it's very similar to the path that we were on.
Right.
But either way, we have we have children to bring into this world, to bring into this society, to continue growing. To we have to let them expand, and part of that is letting them go and researching Judaism, Buddhism, no religion, whatever it is that they want to look at. Doesn't mean that they're going to follow those teachings. And if it does, then so be it. They're still your kids. They're still, you can still have kindness for them.
I love it. You said that just perfectly. I absolutely love it. And I'm so excited about you mentioned your grandchild.
Yes.
I am so, and I've got two and another one on the way. And I'm so excited for that generation because they're coming in on this world so much stronger
Yes.
spiritually than where we were. And I think our kids also, because the young ones, I am in the ones that are in their 20s, I'm just going, you go. And I mean, they are not caring what other people think of them,
Mm-hmm.
and they are so spiritual.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are doing plant medicine, but in a spiritual way.
Right. Right. Yeah. I don't know if you've seen the articles that alcohol consumption is going down.
Mm,
Now medicinal marijuana is probably going up, but it's different. It's still marijuana is still a plant medicine.
yes.
It's
Yes.
just in a different form.
Well, and it's your intention too.
Right. Right.
It depends on how you're going to use this plant medicine for healing
Right.
or recreational. But
Right.
yeah, I don't drink wine anymore.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't drink either.
so I found out, yeah, and I was drinking like 2 glasses a day.
Mm-hmm.
And through this plant medicine, it just started not tasting good. And then it
Right.
started giving me headaches. And I'm
Yep.
going,
Yep.
okay.
Yep.
So your
Same.
system changes.
It does. It does. And yeah, and when you start getting into really taking care of your body, I mean, after you start on these healing journeys, no matter how you start, and you get to a certain point where you're just like, "Ah, I need to take care of this meat suit. I need to take care of my mind." Then you start to bump up your self-care and really just start to look at yourself and go, I really am a temple,
Yes. Oh,
and I need to
absolutely.
take care of myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
And if
don't
you,
need all
yeah,
these things to block what what needs to come up and help me to thrive in this life that I'm already living.
I love it. And I totally agree because we're all a part of the divine. We're all a part of the system.
Yeah.
And when you take care of yourself, you're taking care of everybody.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. That old, you can't take put your mask on first before someone else's is so true. But a lot of people still don't get like how long you need to have that mask on.
That's true. It may be a lifetime.
Right. It's you have to take care of yourself all the time.
Right.
And it's not in a selfish way because you're not ignoring other people that you need to take care of. It's just you're not making the concessions you used to make.
Yes. And I feel like a lot of people are doing their ancestral healing as well. because
Oh,
I know
yeah.
I've done that. And I said it stops with me.
Yep.
And that's another thing that I've been told that because it's this generation and this time that we're saying, okay, it stops, no
Yeah.
more,
Yep.
because we don't want our kids to continue. So again, it will be a whole new generation that won't have all of this generational healing to complete.
Right. I know that, we both have adult children and we both would probably wish we'd had all this knowledge when our kids were little. But you're right. We're doing the generational healing. We're doing the ancestral healing so that our kids don't have to do all of that. And anything that we clear from ourselves, it clears from the generations going forward. So
Yeah,
it's
so
so
magical.
impactful. So impactful. Michelle, is there anything as we bring this conversation to a close, is there anything that you want the listeners to know or hear before we end
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
conversation?
So absolutely. Let me tap into so what I do for the messages at the very end is always tap into your listeners just so that, and they may get it different ways, but, it's mainly a theme because every message is so different. Okay. So what I really want to get across is that treat each day, because I know we talked about children. Treat each day like a child, like you are a child, looking through a child's eyes. Look at everything as being magical, because when you do, you get to find the magic inside yourself and you get to see the magic in other people. And with all the negativity that is going on, yes, it's easy to bring your energy down from that. But again, if you look from a different perspective and you go, you know what, that's something I cannot control, but that is a collective, but I can do things on my own to help raise the energy, of course, through my child's eye. And you'll find out what you need to do.
I love that. That is exactly how I try to live my life.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, we were supposed to go sledding this weekend, but because of this impending storm,
Oh,
we can't. So I might have
yeah.
to find some sledding around here. Michelle,
Yes.
where can people find you? What is your website, socials,
Okay.
all that?
Right. So right now, I'm not offering any services, but hopefully I will soon. But I do have a hub so that you can find more information about me, the books, and also if you want to email me and get in touch with me. But my website is www.themichellehenderson.com. And
Wonderful.
I tell everybody that's not my ego talking. That was the only domain left with Michelle Henderson. But it's easy to remember, the Michelle Henderson.
That's right. That's right. Michelle, thank you so much for coming on. I really enjoyed this conversation.
Oh, I did too. Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us on the Metamorphosis Project podcast. I hope today's episode brought you inspiration, joy, and a spark of empowerment. Remember, transformation is an incredible journey, and every single step you take towards self-care and healing brings you closer to the life you truly desire. If this episode uplifted you, please subscribe, rate, and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. Your support helps us to share this journey of hope, resilience, and joy with many listeners. For more tips, support, and inspiration, come and visit us at designyourexistence.com. Until next time, keep growing, keep healing, and keep shining brightly. You are absolutely worth every bit of love and care you give to yourself. Take care, stay joyful, and be well.